Let's talk about Mike Patton for a bit. You may know Mike Patton as the lead singer of Faith No More, or Fantomas, or Mr. Bungle, or Tomahawk, or any of the millions of other bands he's been involved with. And if you were a collector of Mike Patton's stuff, you've probably already gone insane because the man just has an insane amount of output. He's been involved with so many bands and so many one-off albums and basically tours nonstop and all of that. So he has a million different records out, and it's impossible to know where to start, much less finish with the man. But in 2006, he put out this album. This is essentially Mike Patton's solo album where he tried to write pop songs without really knowing what pop songs sounded like in 2006. And intentionally so, he just wrote what he thought were like standard pop song affairs with verse and choruses. And in 2006, Mike was really into hip-hop and turntablism. So there are a lot of features on the album of really talented turntablist electronic musicians. He's got Razel, the beatboxer, on a couple of tracks. He's got Dan the Automator producing some of it. It's even got a track where Norah Jones says motherfucker. So it's got that going for it as well. And it is a fantastic album. It is a fantastic album from start to finish. It apparently took him years and years to get this album done. And a lot of the featured artists on it, it was basically done with file sharing, so he's never met any of these people. Massive attacks on this album. So it really was just Mike Patton doing his shit on his own, then sending tracks to essentially random people, just going, you want to be on this track? Sure, boom. And you know, they send him files back. And it resulted in Peeping Tom, which is both the band name and the title of the album. And then he went on tour with it, and then he essentially forgot all about the project. There's never been a follow-up Peeping Tom second album, which is kind of a shame, actually, because if there's one thing Mike Patton does well, we know he's an absolute insane person who just happens to be a really, really talented singer. But if there's one thing he also does well, it is writing a really damn good pop hook and a really good pop song. And it's not, you know, pop songs like you'd listen to on the radio. And it wasn't pop songs like you listened to on the radio in 2006 either. It still has that twinge of madness to it. But it is a really damn good pop album. And there are no skippable tracks. There's no filler. It's all killer. So it is a really terrific album. So of course I wanted to get it on vinyl because there was a special edition vinyl coming out. And the vinyl release itself is weird. The CD release was weird too, and I've got the CD release right here. You know, there's just something about the packaging and the presentation of this album that sort of belies its seriousness. I guess you don't really call this a serious album by any stretch, but it really doesn't seem to have a lot of confidence in itself because the packaging is just super gimmicky. The CD version has one of these cardboard sleeves that you have to pull on the side, and then it pops open like that, like a switchblade, and then you have to get the CD out, and then when you shut it again, it's just sort of, it barely even wants to go in there, but it has this lovely die cut thing on the front. Now I can't get it open. There you go. Boom and boom. And you know, you can't replace this if the cardboard breaks or anything, so, you know, screw it. And the vinyl is similar because it has this lovely die-cut cover with the eye just peeking in and out. And the vinyl itself is an absolutely, I'll just show you on the insert, is this absolutely beautiful looking picture disc. With the orange and yellow gradient, and both sides look really, really awesome, and they look really awesome spinning on a turntable. But here's the thing. Any vinyl collector will tell you that picture discs are display objects. Yeah, they have audio data on them, but they don't really sound very good. At least they don't sound very good after repeated listens. And this is the one time I might actually agree with the Insano Brigade of vinyl collectors, because picture discs are provably of a lesser quality than your standard black vinyl or even your standard colored vinyl. And there's a reason for that. And I'll demonstrate using this 9 Inch Nails record and this interview flexi disc with Gary Newman. Trust me, this is going someplace. So a picture disc is actually a blank side of vinyl. As you can see, there are no grooves on this. This is just blank vinyl with a 12-inch circular picture glued on top of it. That's the actual picture you see on the picture disc. And then the actual audio is on a clear flexi disc that you then glue on top of that picture. So all the audio is essentially held on this very, very thin material, which, as you can probably tell, just from looking at it, is much less durable than, you know, an actual vinyl record with the actual grooves stamped into the vinyl. So essentially, a flexi disc like this has maybe 100 or 200 good spins in it before, you know, the needle will actually start to physically tear at the flimsy material. And this is why picture discs have such a rotten reputation, is because they are essentially just flexi discs put onto a blank piece of vinyl with a picture stuck under them. And that's why this is such a weird release, because it is a fantastic album and all of the tracks are fantastic, and the vinyl release is just style over substance. It's not an album you buy to put, you know, in your collection to pull out and put on your turntable and listen to. It's a display item. It's one that you put on your wall, or you just have out to look. Look at this. Look how fancy it is. And you don't actually buy it for the music that it has on it. And that is such a strange choice for such a really, really fantastic album. And Mike Patton's not alone in this bizarre crime, essentially. Famously, Tool's Lateralis was released on a double picture disc, which, you know, suffers from the same inherent problems. And I will get to that in a later video, trust me. It just boggles the mind, really. So I'm very happy that I have this, and again, it's fantastic looking, but I'm almost afraid of putting it on these days, because I know with each and every play, it just gets noticeably shittier and shittier to listen to, which is why I got the CD version, which peculiarly also, that's a hard word to say, also has the same weird style over substance, but at least, you know, the disc will sound the same every time you play it. Well, technically, unless that gets scratched to shit as well. CDs are really strange. But anyway, that's really all I had to ramble about today. So thanks for tuning in, and see you later.